Hello, so I'm here today at Dorks Music testing out some of the most popular classical saxophone mouthpieces on the market. So for quite a long time, Selmer and Vandoren have really dominated this area, but we've got a brand new offering from Backun, which is rather quite exciting. So we thought we'd take the time to compare all of these. We have done individual videos on the mouthpieces I'm going to look at as well, so you can check those out if you like. Of course, if you want to keep up to date with all the latest videos we put out, do like and subscribe the Dorks YouTube channel, and of course you can find them on Facebook, Instagram, all the usual places. So the three mouthpieces I've got here today that I've chosen are the ones that I think are probably the best from each of the manufacturers. From Vandoren, we've got the AP3, then we've got the Selmer Concept, and the new one we've got is the Backun TM2. So I'm just going to play you a little bit on each of them, and then I'll tell you my thoughts on them. So there you've heard the Vandoren AP3, the Selmer Concept, and the Backun TM2. So it'd be really interesting to know your thoughts on which ones you like the sound of best, what you think the differences are. So please do in the comments, let us know what you think of the sound. And I'll tell you now a little bit what I think from having played them. So if we start off with the AP3, I mean, the first thing to say is all these mouthpieces are brilliant mouthpieces. They all make a lovely sound, perfectly suited for classical playing, and I'd be pretty happy playing on any of these. I find the AP3 is really easy to play. It's really smooth, kind of got a really even sound across the whole range. I find the sound on it possibly isn't quite as big as the other mouthpieces. It's slightly more restrained, particularly kind of at the louder dynamics. I think it possibly doesn't have quite as much kind of oomph to it as the others. But the trade-off with that is it's really easy to play, particularly at the bottom of the instrument. It speaks very cleanly and it feels very easy to play. It's not a particularly resistant mouthpiece to play. It feels very satisfying, very easy to play, and makes a really nice kind of smooth sound the whole way across. So moving on to the Selmer Concept. Now, the eagle-eyed of you might have noticed that the Selmer Concept that I was playing didn't look quite as shiny as the other mouthpieces, and that's because it is my own concept, and that's the mouthpiece I play pretty much all the time, day in, day out. And what I love about the Concept is it's just really easy to play, and it makes a really nice sound, and I think that's essentially what I'm looking for in a mouthpiece. I find it speaks really evenly across the whole range, and it makes a sound that I'm really happy with. It's got a kind of a nice rich sound, but it's also got a bit of brightness, a bit of edge to it, and you can push it further than the Vandoren, I think. It's got a bit more edge, a bit more bite to it than the Vandoren, and that's why I tend to play the Concepts over the Vandoren, for example. Now the final mouthpiece is a really interesting one. This TM2 stands for Tim McAllister, who this mouthpiece was designed in conjunction with. Tim's one of the really top classical sax players in the world. He's an American player. And this is the first mouthpiece that Backun have made for the saxophone. They've made loads of great clarinet gear through ages, and this is their first kind of saxophone mouthpiece. And I think it's a really amazing mouthpiece, especially for a first thing. The sound on this is brilliant. It's really, really big, really rich sound. Hopefully across the video you'll hear the depth of the sound that you get off this. The one thing I find about it is it feels a bit different to play to the other mouthpieces. I can't quite put my finger on what it is. I think it almost feels like it's a closer mouthpiece than it is. And it feels it doesn't quite give you the feedback that I get from the Selmer or even the Vandoren. I would say that's the only thing with this TM2 that I'm not 100% sold on yet. But the sound it makes is brilliant, and everyone's different, so you may well play it and you might love the feel of it, in which case it makes a brilliant sound. If you love the feel, definitely play on one of these. But what I'd say is we've got 3 brilliant options. The best thing to do is to try them all out, see which one you like the sound of the best. You can come down to Dorks Music, try them all out, or of course you can get them on mail order. You can get these all on 14-day approval, so you can try them in the comfort of your home, take them out into different venues as well, play them, see how you feel on them. But yeah, we've got 3 brilliant mouthpieces, so try them out and see what you think.